Namaskar and welcome. You're watching Parliament News. Up first, news from Lok Sabha proceedings today. The second week of Parliament's monsoon session began on a stormy note in Lok Sabha on Monday, even as the opposition members continued with their protest over a host of issues, including the alleged Pegasus snooping case and farm laws. However, the government succeeded in having passed two bills in Lok Sabha amid sloganeering by opposition members. As soon as the House met at 3 p.m. after repeated adjournments during the day, the House took up the Factoring Regulation Amendment Bill 2020 and the National Institutes of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management Bill 2021. The Lok Sabha today passed the Factoring Regulation Amendment Bill 2021 and the National Institutes of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management Bill 2021 amid uproarious scenes by the opposition. Moving the bill, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the changes have been made in the interest of MSME sector. She said it simplifies the definition of factoring business, in which the banks, non-banking financial companies or any businesses entities involved. Ms. Sitharaman said the bill widens the scope for entities to involve in factoring business. She said the process of sale and acquirement of the factors from one entity to another is simplified in this bill. The bill seeks to amend the Factoring Regulation Act 2011 to widen the scope of entities which can engage in factoring business. It defines a factoring business to mean the business of acquisition of receivables of an assigner by accepting assignment of such receivables or financing against the security interest of any receivables through loans or advances. The Lok Sabha also passed the National Institutes of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management Bill 2021, moved by Food Processing and Industries Minister Pashupati Kumar Paras. It lays down the provision for certain institutes of food technology, entrepreneurship and management like National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management at Kundli and the Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology at Tanjavur as institutions of national importance. Under the bill, the functions of the institutes include providing for instruction, research and knowledge dissemination in the field of food science and technology, holding examinations and granting degrees, diplomas, certificates and other academic distinctions or titles, determining and collecting fees and other charges, and instituting and making appointments for academic and other posts except that of director. The Factoring Regulation Amendment Bill 2020 was introduced in the Lok Sabha last year. It was referred to Standing Committee of Parliament, which gave its report in February this year. The bills were passed without discussion in the House as opposition members continued to stage protests demanding discussion on the Pegasus snooping allegations and the farmers' demand of repealing the three new farming laws. Rama Devi, who was chairing the proceedings, repeatedly urged the protesting members to return to their seats and participate in the discussions. However, with protesting members unrelenting, she went ahead with the consideration and passage of the two bills. The presiding officer repeatedly urged the agitating members to allow the House to function, but they continued their protests, which forced the adjournment of the House for the day. Earlier in the day, the House witnessed repeated adjournments, and when it met at 2 p.m. and ran for a few minutes, papers were laid on the table and Nirmala Sitharaman, the Finance Minister, introduced the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Bill 2021. As soon as the House met in the morning, Speaker Om Birla paid tributes to personnel of the armed forces for their valor and their sacrifice during 1999 Kargil War. On the 22nd anniversary of Operation Vijay, mounted to flush out Pakistani troops from the heights of Kargil, Speaker Birla also expressed gratitude to the family members of the heroes of the war. Members observed silence for those who made the supreme sacrifice. The Speaker congratulated Mirabai Chanu for winning a silver medal at the Tokyo Olympics. Soon thereafter, opposition members again trooped into the well of the House, raising slogans and disrupting the proceedings. While the Pegasus snooping row remained the dominant issue with the opposition members, they also raised slogans and displayed placards in support of agitating farmers. Some opposition members demanded the presence of Prime Minister in the House. The Speaker appealed to the opposition to go back to their seat. He said the government is ready to reply the issues being raised by the opposition members, but the opposition members continued their protests. And now news from Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha failed to transact any business today as it witnessed repeated adjournments, with the opposition continuously creating ruckus over the farmers and Pegasus snooping issues. The House witnessed 5 adjournments during the day till it was adjourned finally for the day amid continued disruption by the opposition. The House was first adjourned for an hour soon after it met at 11 a.m. It witnessed repeated adjournments till 4 p.m. before finally adjourning for the day. Later, members belonging to Congress, Trinamool Congress and other opposition parties rushed to the well, raising slogans against the government, which led the first adjournment of the House. The members paid tribute to the Indian soldiers for their supreme sacrifice in the 1999 Kargil war against Pakistan. Paying tributes, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu said the unparalleled valor and gallantry of the country's troops in defeating the enemy will inspire generations. The chairman said July 26 is the 22nd anniversary of the Kargil Vijay Divas, adding that on this day in 1999, our brave and fearless soldiers defeated the enemy forces who had occupied Indian territories and retreat Kargil Heights, resulting in a momentous victory for the country. He said the display of the exemplary courage, selfless dedication and unflinching determination towards the mission by the soldiers in treacherous terrain and inclement weather conditions will remain etched in memory forever. Mr. Naidu lauded the indomitable spirit and supreme sacrifice of the brave soldiers. Members observed silence as a mark of respect to the memory of the soldiers who laid down their lives in the war. The Rajya Sabha also congratulated Mirabai Chanu for winning a silver medal in the women's 49 kg category weightlifting event at the ongoing Tokyo Olympic Games. The chairman said through her spectacular performance, Mirabai Chanu not only opened the medal tally for the country in this Olympics but also ended a long wait of 21 years for a medal in a weightlifting event as the Olympics. Mr. Naidu wished Mirabai Chanu success in her future endeavours and hoped she will continue to bring many more laurels to the country. Later, as opposition members created ruckus in the House, the chairman said other members are being prevented from raising issues of public importance. He adjourned the House proceedings till noon. Mr. Naidu said he had disallowed notices under Rule 267 given by the opposition leaders Mallikarjun Kharge and K.C. Venugopal of Congress, Trichy Siva of DMK, Sukhendu Shekhar Ray of Trinamool Congress and Ilamaram Karim of CPI and others. The rule provides for setting aside of the businesses of the day to take up discussion on the issue being sought to be raised. The chairman said important public interest issues have been allowed to be raised through 0 hour and special mentions, but the House is not able to perform its duty. The members are being denied an opportunity, he observed. The Rajya Sabha has failed to transact any business since the start of the monsoon session from July 19, except for a discussion on the COVID situation and management due to uproar created by the opposition members of the various issues, including the farm laws and the Pegasus snooping issue. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman laid the papers pertaining to a notification on reduction of customs duties on lentils. Amid noisy scenes, the government today reduced the import duty on masoor dal to 0 and also halved the agriculture infrastructure development cess on the lentil to 10% in a bid to boost domestic supply and check rising prices. As opposition members continue to raise the pitch of their slogans, Deputy Chairman Harvansh said that this is the House of Elders and members should behave accordingly. However, his pleas did not yield results when the House reassembled at 5 p.m. after 5 adjournments. The chair asked Jugal Singh Mathurji Lokhandwala to initiate a discussion on the Marine Aids to Navigation Bill 2021. Manoj Kumar Jha of the RJD alleged that the government has not reached out to the opposition as suggested by the chair to chalk out a program for smooth running of the House. This was strongly opposed by the leader of the House, Piyush Goyal, who said he has met with the leader of the opposition and some other leaders and invited them to chalk out a plan for smooth running of the House. Goyal said the government is happy to discuss all issues and develop a formula for the smooth functioning of the House by making consensus. This negative approach and this obstructionism resorted to by some of the opposition parties is quite harmful for Indian democracy. Mr. Goyal said, adding that it goes against the principles of the August House. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi said that he had met with the leader of the opposition who informed that he would come back after talking to other parties. As opposition parties continue to create uproar, Sasmit Patra, who was in the chair, adjourned the House for the day. And with that, we come to an end of this Parliament Proceedings Bulletin. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. Namaskar.